Hafak Radio.
Hafak Radio. You're listening to Hafak Radio.
The latest hits, oldest, greatest memories, latest gist, news, sports, information, all on Hafak Radio. Who plays the biggest sound? We do. We are Hafak Radio, 247 around the world, non-stop. This is Hafak Radio, the radio for the society.
Hey guys, good evening and welcome to Hafak Online Radio. Welcome to your number one radio for the society, Hafak Online Radio. My name is Oladepo Oladayo Oladune and I'll be ushering into dayo'shour. It's a show that keeps you on track with important matters. It's a show that gets you going. It's a show that, when you get to learn more, it's a show that gives you top things about life and it's really an amazing and interesting show. Kudos to our CEO, Hafak Online Radio, and kudos to my colleagues as well. And yes, please don't forget to follow our Instagram handle at Hafak Online Radio. And you can as well follow my personal page as I_am_Jenny. And yes, before I reveal my topic for tonight, it's still the love month. It's still the month where we are sharing kisses and love. Yeah, and I'm sending mine to you as well. Love you guys for listening to my show. Thank you, and thank you. Before I be revealing my topic for tonight, a very, very sensitive topic, I would like us to go on a very short break. I'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Are you a member of the Chop Life gang? We don't just chop food, we chop chops and we chop cakes. The Cake Lieutenant is your one-stop plug for luxury cakes, small chops and food box. The Cake Lieutenant is available on Instagram at thecake_lieutenant. Call or chat 070-54613-149. This advert is sponsored by dayo'shour Baker and powered by Hafak Radio.
Welcome back. It's Hafak Online Radio and I remain your host, Dayo. This is Hafak Online Radio and yes, back to business. What will we be talking about today? It's actually a very sensitive topic and a very important topic, which I don't know what crossed my mind to do the topic, but something very, very sensitive actually. And what is this topic? It's just some kind of 3-coin word. Don't give up. Yes, and our topic today is don't give up. What do we actually mean don't give up? We know there are a lot of number of times when we actually feel like giving up because it's just that simple, and it's not that simple. Speaking on don't give up, it's just two common phrases which are don't give up, or we can actually say never give up. And these words are coined, like they combine them to make a very funny joke, because the combination technically is a double negative that literally means always give up. And speaking of this particular phrase is actually, they are just, everything about it is just negative. So yeah, it's just negative. And we'll actually be talking about reasons why you shouldn't give up. There are some times when giving up is actually the only option. Giving up is actually the right answer. But we'll be talking about that next week apparently. But today we're talking about reasons why you should never give up. There are really, really thousands of reasons why you should never give up. But I'll just say the one I feel which are very, very, very important. When we talk about the word give and up, it should always never be in your mind. Never consider. Yeah, we understand that there are times when the very first thing that comes to our mind is giving up. And yes, we should not always be negative. Like my boss would say, be optimistic. Because whenever it says something and I'm like, I can't, I don't think I can, and he'll be like, why you always, it just says that, and I'm like, because I feel it wouldn't happen. But he will always say there's nothing that cannot happen. So, rather, the word no shouldn't even be in our dictionary. Of course, I saw something on WhatsApp today and it says there are two things in asking for something. It is either when you ask for something, the person tells you no, and which is no, you cannot die even if after the. And the best thing again is the person telling you yes, which is the best thing is for you receiving what you asked for. So let us always be positive. When being positive is actually very good. Funny thing is, there's some challenges I'm facing, and I don't know, I actually gave up already. But today when coming back again, I was just thinking, but what if I don't give up? What if I push more? What if it just crossed my mind, and I'm like, okay. And I feel a very, very big relief in me, like, okay, did I just thought that I shouldn't give up right now? Like, that feeling that I felt like, no, I already give up, I'm no longer interested. And then it came again, and I was just thinking while coming back from work, and I was like, wow, okay, I think I need to give this an extra push. Without diving into much details, the simply part of human race puts you in a very, very special group. We are just, by being a human alone, we are practically legendary. And we are still on top of the food chain. And that said, when you actually zoom into human individuals, life is difficult. We all know that. We don't need to be told. And when we actually face setbacks after setback, problem after problem, challenges after challenges, it can be very hard to stay optimistic, and it's well understood. And it can actually be very hard to actually stay optimistic and keep the same perspectives, keep the same strength, keep the same vibe. It gets very difficult to remind yourself that you are strong, and you can get through whatever problem that you are facing. And the thing is, when life is tough, giving up always actually looks like the easiest option. No jokes. Giving up actually always, after just doing something and you feel, okay, this thing is kind of very hard for me, the very next thing you just think, I'm no longer interested. It happens to me a lot. And I have things I'm still currently facing that I've given up, but then I don't know where the vibe came from today, and I felt, you shouldn't give up, push more. And I felt, okay, I think that was just the topic I need to talk about today. In actual reality, the actual reality is that when you feel like giving up, there are a lot of untapped inner strength inside of you that you probably haven't even realized. And that is why, when you are in a dark place, it can actually help to remind yourself of your strengths and your potential, so that you can actually overcome the negativity that creeps into your mind. Reasons why you should never give up, like never, ever, ever give up. We understand that it keeps getting tough, it keeps more, we just need to keep pushing. Like it says, what does that Bible verse say? Like, morning through the night, joy in the morning. Of course, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a way. Reasons why you should never give up. It's very few, very few, very few. 1, you are alive, and you can. The fact that you are alive alone, babe, guys, friends, there's actually one certainty in life, and that is death. And as long as you're actually alive, you have no excuse to say you can't. If you actually put your mind to it, you can do anything, and anything is what is possible. This might actually seem like a kind of very funny advice for the first mantra, but I find this to be very, very extremely important, because it reminds you of the ticking clock that is your life. And every second you are hesitating or overthinking, or you are frozen with anxiety, is actually a second closer to the inevitable yet only certain thing, which is your death. Some actually say that that this is a very morbid way to think, but frankly I actually disagree, because that is the biggest motivator. And understanding that my time is very, very limited always centered me and helps me to balance my priority. So most problems and difficulties in life, when compared with the ever looming shadow of death, always seems worth, and that is actually a good reminder that keeps you going. So many of our dreams, like one of our people say, Christopher Reeve, he said, so many of our dreams at first seems impossible, then they seems improbable, and then when we summon the will, they soon become inevitable. The only valid excuse to give up is that you're dead, and you're listening to me, which says you are not dead. So what? Never give up. Moving on, you should always believe in your dream. Speaking on that, would you actually give up on your family, your partner, your spouse, your children, your parent? Then why would you actually give up on yourself? You can actually give up on your parent. You can't just say, oh, your family, your spouse, your partner. You can't give up on them. Then why would you actually want to give up on yourself? You and your dreams are actually what's more than that, more than what you think. So don't ever sell yourself short, and don't let anybody bring you down. If you can dream it, you can do it, and your dreams and goals are worth pursuing. So there have been millions of dreamers because before you even, and will be after you, and if they're giving up on the world, that it would have never ever been the same. Just always believe in your dream. There are a lot of people that they didn't give up on their dream, and it really made them, it really brought them high, gave them a lot of things, and now they achieve. And I'm sure they are saying by now, they would be saying, thank God I never give up. So never give up on your dream. Like someone said, hold fast to your dream, for without them life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Sent by lasting hugs. Moving on, I would like us to go on a very, very, very short break. I'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Hey there! Stay logged on to your number one award-winning online radio station, Hafak Online Radio, the radio for the society.
Welcome back to Hafak Online Radio. And for those just joining us, yes, we are speaking of don't give up. Welcome back. It's still your host, Dayo, and this is dayo'shour. Moving on. You have everything you need. Everything you actually need to reach your goal, they are already inside you. They are built inside you. And you and the person in your life you may actually look up to, or the person who is your role model, are genetically 99.9 the same. And this may actually come as a surprise to you, but in reality, the reality is people who are successful are not very much different from you. So stop making excuses for yourself. I'm fond of making excuses. When something happened, I try to push the blame on something. I try to push the blame on other people. I try to, make very, very funny excuses. But within me, I know I was the one that didn't do well. I was the one that did the wrong thing. But, just for me to admit, I will not admit. So always be thankful for your God-given capabilities and strive for success. And you just have all the tools inside of you to preserve and keep going. We just have to keep going. We have a lot of our legends who absolutely did, and their legacy were well built only after they pursued, they pushed through, and they never gave up. So what? Never give up. Next is, you don't want to regret this. Regret is actually a very worst feeling a person can actually feel, and don't put yourself in that position and do what you have to do right now. You just have to do it. No matter how bad it is, just do it and don't give up. Just take a moment to imagine yourself at 5 years old. You're on a chair or your working chair, reflecting on how you lived. Imagine your life if you did whatever it is that makes you anxious or fearful, or maybe it's other things, learning how to do, and what you didn't do. Like, how did you feel? What's your life been like as a result of that particular decisions you made some years back? Reflecting on that scenario and put yourself in a position where you don't want to regret giving up, and you are happy that you pushed and preserved through your difficulties. That feeling when you feel at 85 and you sit and wonder, thank God I never gave up. That would be the biggest, that will create the most happiest moment you have actually lived. So in essence, never give up. Next is you need to prove it to yourself. You want to prove it to yourself and the world that you can. I want you to always have that mind, that mentality, that when it comes to life, as one of our famous DJs, DJ Khaled, very famously says, he once said on Snapchat, they don't want you to win. And this is absolutely true. In this kind of scenario, are all the successful people in the world who want to hold you back and do not want to, give you any piece of their pie. They actually fight and claw and never give up. Just don't let anything stop you from your goal. True